Hello and welcome on Sport Update. I'm Adeniyi Ajishafe. Time to look at those sporting activities right now. We'll be looking at the Nigerian team. That's the Golden Eagles. They will be going on the tour to Germany. And Nigerians can't wait to see what these lads will be doing by the time the AFCONs and also the World Cup. Golden Eagles are set for training tour in Germany. Well, they are being coached by ex-international Ezekwesili. And right now, the boys, or the lads as you call them, are battle ready to see how they can at least get better, get exposed to those international facilities, and also to at least play against other teams. I have in the studio Chioma, Ezekwesili, and Emmanuel Fashime. Good to have you guys.
Hello,
Thanks
good
for having
evening.
Yes, I see you guys smiling. You are still smiling because of Manchester City winning.
Yes.
Okay, looking at that first story there. Well, Golden Eagles are set for training tour in Germany. At least this will go a long way by allowing these guys, or let me call them lads, the opportunity to get exposure that they deserve over that international level.
Yeah, seriously, yes. With the level of preparation, and they've been in camp in Abuja here for quite some months now. Immediately they came back from the Waffle Zone B Under-17 championship, where they actually where they did well and made Nigerians proud. I think they were given a week rest, and immediately after that they head back into camp, and now this is the last stage of their preparation for the Under-17 AFCON, and probably the last four will get the qualification ticket to the Under-17 World Cup. But going to Germany, you mentioned that is to expose these guys to let me say better facilities than what we have here. It's not that I'm not saying we don't have, but I think over there in Germany it's going to expose them to better facilities, the weather condition of where the Under-17 World Cup will be staged, and also the AFCON will be coming up in Algeria, to also acclimatize themselves with the weather condition of Algeria. We might say they are an African country, but their weather condition is a bit different from what we have here. So, and majorly it's just those facilities and how they can come up against let me say other oppositions in Europe. Club sides, they will play club side definitely, because they've been playing some club side here in Abuja, and overall it's a good one for Ezekwesili. He's an ex-international. He himself was part of the Under-17. I think that was 85 thereabout, and overall he's a good coach. We are not taking that away from him. All we want is the Under-17 team to do us proud in AFCON. We just need the World Cup ticket first before they think of winning it.
Now, talking about this particular team, the Under-17, what they call Golden Eagles, Ezekwesili, a former player and also ex-international, who right now was part of the team that did it. Now, being the coach, he knows these lads and he wants to make sure they get the best out of the team so that they can do well at the AFCON. Chioma, so far, if you are to get a yardstick for the preparation for these guys that will be going to Germany on tour, what would you say?
Like I keep saying, no matter how prepared you are never ready enough for the show to start. So far, I think they've done pretty well. And I hope, like Fash says, that their tour is going to give them an edge to familiarize themselves with the kind of circumstances they'll be meeting. So I really hope that it will help them to prepare their state of mind to what they're going to see when they get there. I
was actually scared when he was saying that getting acclimatized to Algeria. I still don't know how Germany and Algeria have almost the same weather. Just to throw some band there. Well, we've been talking concerning Golden Eagles. They'll be going on tour to Germany. At least they did that particular exposure for them to do well at the AFCON that will be coming up, and later, in fact, later this month. Let's see how they will be prepared for this. But right now, we move away from Golden Eagles. Let's talk about our own league, the IMC, Interim Management Committee. Just the way they find Wiki right now, they find the Sunshine Stars 1 million naira for inadequate security at match venue. They played their match, and it seems the fans were unruly, their behavior, and also things went awry after that match. So right now, IMC are really trying to throw the big hammer against Sunshine Stars. Not only Sunshine, there are teams that are not doing well. They've been doing a yeoman's job by making sure they correct the wrongs in MPFL. The pride of Ondo State, Sunshine Stars, right now, another 1 million.
Yes, another 1 million going into the account of the IMC, not because they are generous to give that 1 million, but because of punishment, and it serves as a debt. It's going to serve as a deterrent. But I've always be of this opinion that I think they find the money payment is not enough. It's not enough.
Deduction of points.
Deduction of points. It shouldn't just be 3 points. Now
goals too.
Goals at least from 15 points and above. If you deduct 20 points from a team, what would that team have left? Then they will start sitting up. Now this is the fourth team that will be sanctioned this season. It started with I think with Bayelsa United. They themselves were fined. Remo Stars,
yes.
Wiki Tourists, and now Sunshine Stars, the 4th team in one season. And we've praised the IMC for how they have conducted themselves. Now, we used to blame IMC for some hanky-panky games.
Yeah, maybe that was when it was LMC.
Yes, but it's still the same people who were in LMC that are still in
but
IMC. Not all, but the same board member and the head of the IMC is formerly in the head of LMC. But we thought they were the, let me say in quote, the problem of, let me say, Nigerian club football. But now looking inward with all of this fine, I think the clubs have a larger part, as in they are a larger part of the problem we are facing in our club football in Nigeria. Because if you look at it now, security breach, it's not even only you see players of the opposition team also beating up referee, beating up players, beating up coaches, which is not supposed to be. So now for me, I don't know for any other person, but I'm looking inward. It's as if the clubs are the problem of our club football in Nigeria. Because if you look at it, the IMC have come out to say they want to be fair to everything, and to an extent they have been fair. They have been fair in picking up referees, and we've also seen how they have sanctioned referees this season. So that means they want to come clean. Now, why would the clubs, administrators, and the players themselves also wouldn't want to come clean? So, but the fine, I want IMC to also go back, look at it critically. They should increase the fines. They should increase the point deduction, maybe 15 points, 10 points deduction, and then goals. If they take 15 points, you take 10 goals. And then teams will sit up. When you see your fan trying to encroach the pitch, they will listen to you as their own son, as their own player. Then they will have to stop. So I think IMC should look inward and then increase the punishment.
Well, while they are increasing the punishment, let's see, Chuma, do you agree with that? That's maybe 15 points. But what if a team doesn't score 10 goals?
They can as well go back to relegation. They should just go.
My goodness, you are a soldier.
You don't have to owe goals. You don't owe goals.
Come on.
They should send the teams back to relegation. I mean, when you don't get up to 10 goals, I'm sure you're not going to be at the top of the table. So you're either, on your way down. So let's help you and go down. Do you get that? But I'm saying, I'm of the opinion, are there trainings for these coaches? Are there regular trainings for these referees? Sorry. Why do they have to sanction them like literally all the time? I get that you make these mistakes, because you're human, but it shouldn't be a normal thing. You shouldn't have to get things wrong and wait for sanctions to come to you. You don't have to, you as club, as coach, as management, you don't have to wait for the clubs to err before they come to you, to get punished before you learn from them. Like Fash said, this is the 4th team, yes. If the punishment was harsh enough after the first set of people, the second won't do it. Now,
let me tell you this. If we were not that IMC have been a bit stiff, by now we'll have seen 15 different encounters. Let's just be sincere. We have to tell ourselves the truth. If not, this 4 you are even mentioning, believe you me, and it's getting better. Before, by now, either you've seen that a referee was macheted, or you've seen where the boss was vandalized, boss of the opponent, or you've seen where the rush at the ref, or a lot of things. By now, we'll have encountered 10 or 15 different issues. But now we only have 10. Let's just admit that we are getting better. Rome wasn't beaten a day.
Yes, no, I'm not. That is why I said, over the years, we thought LMC and now IMC what's the problem. Now I have found that I personally
club
have
themselves
the
are the
club
problem.
themselves are the problem. Because if IMC have come out to say, okay, we are coming out clean this time around, we want to be fair to all the clubs, then the clubs should also toe that line. So I will still say this anywhere. The clubs are the problem. The administrators, they are a problem of the club football in Nigeria, not IMC, not maybe formerly LMC, but now it is not the body controlling the league. So the clubs need, if they should increase the sanctions for them, so that if you deduct 15 points from a team, I think other teams, whenever their fans want to misbehave, then they will have to maybe come outside and talk to their fans.
Well, I agree with what you said, but really, 15 points could be too huge. You know why? It could be too much, kind of, since it's not as if they did what they call it, this scandal of match fixing or that. If you look at Italian Serie A, Juventus will actually deducted 15 points because of what they did.
Yes.
It's not as if because of fighting or attacking Rev or what, but because of the fact that they were found wanting issue of bribery and corruption and trying to buy a match and all that. Match fixing is very, very humongous when it comes to the terms of punishment. But here, these are things that are okay, normal, stadium fines and all that. 15 points might be too much.
No,
why not maybe 6 points?
The truth is
15.
They say iron sharpened
Then
iron.
it means in the next season we won't have more than 4
No,
teams.
it's not that it's not something. It's not something that is going to.
They should not appoint both of you as administrators.
It's
Seriously.
only 4 teams in the MPFL, and they are the ones giving us the show. By all means, let's have our 4 teams.
Seriously.
We'll call them the Super 4, and we keep watching. And every other person will want to work harder, do better, just to join.
Now, what you should remember also, I'm only trying to bring out those areas for you to see. Now, remember, this is Nigeria. This is not Europe. The gap between us and Europe or advanced countries, far wide. We know that. Let's not just rush into, we must do it. No. Let me tell you this. If the clubs are fined or deducted of 15 points, 10 goals, like you said, do you know that there are still some fans who doesn't even know the difference between, they don't even know about deduction. All they know is, my team is playing today. Let me go to the stadium and watch. They must win. Do you understand?
Okay.
In Nigeria, they don't know. They don't even know the difference between all these things you are saying.
Yeah, we have.
We should also consider them because they are humans. They are part of the society. You can't erase it overnight.
No,
they need to be what? Orientated. They need to give them orientation.
For how long?
Clubs. We keep doing it till we get better. You know why? The reason why I'm saying that is because if you look at how things run, some years ago, it was cellular phone that we had, right?
Yes, of course.
Analog, all like that. Before it started improving to where right now at the tip of your finger, you can get things done just across the globe. Even the Oyinbos that we are following, they didn't just get it right once. You understand? They were also experimenting. So, little by little, let's not just come and scatter our own livers.
We will not scatter it. We will not scatter it.
Oh my goodness.
Over the years, there have been calls for symposiums, what have you for fans, organize this maybe before pre-season.
You're talking as if you're not in Nigeria. How many symposiums have been organized? How many clubs did that?
No, they can do.
We know the fire brigade style we normally use. How many clubs did symposium? How many people that understand what they were saying at the symposium? How many?
But they can speak their language.
Oh my goodness. When they speak the language, would they understand the fact that they see football differently in Nigeria, in Africa? We see football, it's so emotional
yes, it's so emotional.
Look at how people fight, beat themselves because of football.
Oh, yes. Can I ask,
yes, come
is there an option where these teams, the default, you shut your gates against the fans, let them play their games behind closed doors? At least it's a punishment to the fans for misbehaving. And maybe after 2-3 games, if they don't get that point, well, you might as well keep playing your games behind closed doors. Because I can't control your reaction. Chelsea might just score his game Real Madrid when you don't understand, and next thing you're throwing bottle away. And while me, I might just walk out of the showing room like, oh, I'm angry, but somebody else might throw bottle. So since you can't say what I'll do, I can't say what you will do. Just watch your game from your house. Break your TV if you get angry. stone your TV if you can. We don't come and stone the referee. Keep the fans away from the field. If they cannot misbehave, if they can't behave themselves.
Yeah, I think I should take this one from you. Keep the fans away. That's we've been talking about Sunshine Stars and also Wiki Tories. Well, really, a big one from the IMC trying to sanitize Nigerian Football League. They are a big one because really it's getting better compared to by now. Should have about 15 cases of head being hit on the ground. Now we go to the big one. UEFA Champions League is here. Matches will be coming out, 2 matches, and we'll be looking at those 2 matches. AC Milan, Napoli. Victor Osimhen will be playing, yes, from the way it is right now. AC Milan, Napoli, Real Madrid, Chelsea. Well, we look at those games that will be coming up. Let's look at how it is quickly. Let's quickly look at AC Milan versus Napoli. Probable, that's a possible lineup. Let's start from AC Milan, Napoli. Now, AC Milan, you have Mike Maignan as the goalkeeper. You have David Calabria, Sikayo Tomori, Simon Gea. You have Theo Hernandez, Sandro Tonali, Ismail Benacer. You have Ibrahim Diaz. You have Rad Kroenke, and you have Luca Rafael Leao. Fantastic player. And also you have Olivier Giroud, the Frenchman who won't stop scoring at that age. Well, looking at this possible lineup for AC Milan, the one they call Rossoneri, we look at the team they will be facing, the Italian team also, that is Napoli. Let's look at Napoli's lineup. Then we'll have it side by side. Vishak Kvaratskhelia is there. Well, let's start from the goalkeeper. They'll be playing 4-3-3, possibly. Alex Meret. You have Mario Rui, Min Jae Kim. Some people call it Kim Min Jae. Amir Ramani, Giovanni Di Lorenzo. You have Andre Zambo Anguissa, Stanislav Lobotka, Piotr Zielinski, having Lozano, Giacomo Raspadori. I have Vishak Kvaratskhelia. Right now, they'll be holding forth for Nigerian international. That is Victor Osimhen, who right now is injured. He won't be playing. And from the way it is, we look at this together before we talk about Real Madrid, Chelsea. So, Chioma, looking at this side by side, possible lineup and a big one. Napoli, they won't be having Osimhen. And looking at this, Raspadori, Lozano, and Kvaratskhelia, they are the one that will be fighting their head against AC Milan, who, if you want to look at history of Champions League, they are much more experienced than Napoli. But so far, Napoli have been more energetic this season, more result-oriented this season. Now, how do you see this game? Let's start with the lady, Chioma.
If you had asked me a week ago, I would say, oh, Napoli will come out on top, like, you know, but I watched them over the weekend without Osimhen, and they won by just a goal, which was a hard-fought. Yes. So, and now you're playing against an AC Milan that came from a draw over the weekend. So, but AC Milan, like you said, from history, they are experienced, they are good. Napoli can have all the energy they have right now, but without their front man, I don't know if you can fight the same fight they fought over the weekend, because AC Milan, they are in it to win it too. They didn't come to just relax and watch Napoli play. Yeah, first leg is that Napoli will get that. But having Giroud in that AC Milan, this thing, I think it's going to give AC Milan the boost they need. That, oh, their front man is here. They can do all they can. I think, personally, I think AC Milan is going to have this. You believe AC Milan will win this game? Yeah, they have what it takes. They have an edge. Just because Napoli has had their games around Osimhen, and just one game he's missing and they get to struggle. What's going to happen against AC Milan? If you were playing a lower team and then we saw Inter Milan draw a lower team over the weekend too. Yeah. So if you're playing a lower team and then you're drawing because your main man is not around, what's going to happen when you're playing a big team like AC Milan? So personally, I think if it's not a draw, AC Milan has this leg, in my opinion.
Let's look at Fashion for this particular encounter. A big one that Napoli will be having their star striker, Victor Osimhen, who right now Raspadori is there to take in, to at least for him. Raspadori, Lozano, Kvaratskhelia, and then you look at they are trying to play 4-3-3, and you look at AC Milan putting Olivier Giroud, his experience there. They are playing 4-2-3-1.
Sincerely speaking, it's a tricky one for Napoli, and because they will be going away, they will be going to AC Milan Stadium, and for Osimhen not being on the side, that is a very big blow for Napoli. If you watch their game over the weekend, they actually struggled to win, and against a team that is coming in with a lot of confidence after beating them, I think 2 weekends back. It ended, I think, 4-0. They couldn't even score a goal, and Napoli was torn apart in that game. Now, if AC Milan goes back to watch the clip of that game and look at the way they actually played Napoli in all departments, I think they will also want to play that same style and that same pattern against a Napoli team that is depleted right now. The only, will I say, the only thing they have up front is Kvaratskhelia, and the man who has understand his style of play up front is not there. And he's, no matter how we look at it, he's going to struggle to gel with Raspadori, who has not even had much game this season, because Osimhen and Kvaratskhelia have played almost more than half of the games for Napoli this season, and Raspadori has been coming in as a substitute. So it's a big one. It's a big one for Napoli. If they get any result away from AC Milan tonight, that means it's going to be by a miracle. But in football, anything can happen. We've seen results go the way of a team that nobody expected. But for Napoli, I think they should watch it, because this man is still there with AC Milan. That is Oliver Giroud, a man you mentioned as he's aging. I think he's becoming better than when he was young. So, and if you look at Oliver Giroud, he's good in area ball, he's good up air, and then with the grand ball. And we have a Rafaelio who can cut him from the left wing or from the right wing. So it's looking good for AC Milan. Sincerely speaking, I might just say, okay, it's a 50-50 chance because of football. Anybody can win, but outrightly, if you want to place it on paper and the pedigree right now, it starts right now. I think AC Milan is just far above Napoli. Because why? They actually have because of one man. Someone mentioned that because of one man, it has disrupted the plan of the team. So, but overall, football, and you just expect surprises in football. We saw Man City yesterday beating Bayern 3-0 without even Bayern scoring a goal. So anything can happen in tonight's game. But sincerely speaking, I fear for Napoli.
You fear for Napoli as if you're from Naples. But really, looking at this particular match, AC Milan-Napoli, a match that a lot of people attach so much emotions. Why? This is it's a derby, Italian derby, let me use that word. And you look at Napoli, a very good run of form this season by the battle for Scudetto. And looking at AC Milan, experience, counting good for them. Steven Pioli knows what is at stake, and he's trying to do everything possible to drop Napoli in this particular encounter. But from what both of you have actually mentioned, looking at the importance of Victor Osimhen, it's obvious that Napoli will miss him. Though Raspadori, yes, he has been coming as a substitute, but it might not be the Osimhen they really want.
Yes, of course.
Well, I just hope that tonight, the three of them, the three front line, they are having Lozano, Raspadori, and Kvaratskhelia, will actually do well to, at least for the sake of Victor Osimhen in that particular encounter. We've been talking about UEFA Champions League, AC Milan, Napoli. Let's look at Real Madrid versus Chelsea. Well, let's look at the probables now. That's a big one there that will be happening. Talking about UEFA Champions League. We're looking at Real Madrid versus Chelsea. Before we go to transfer now, let's look at the probables of those two teams. And now, from the way it is, we have Chelsea playing 4-3-3, and it's going to be keeper Arrizabalaga at home, Bel Chilwell, Kalidou Koulibaly, Wesley Fofana. You have Reece James, N'Golo Kante, Enzo Fernandez. You have Mateo Kovacic, Joao Felix, Kai Havertz, and Raheem Sterling. That's the possible lineup for Chelsea, 4-3-3. And let's look at Real Madrid, the Los Merengues, as they call them. The Los Blancos, we have a possible lineup of Thibaut Courtois there, Dani Carvajal, you have Eder Militao, Rudiger Antonio, who was a former player of Chelsea, saying, well, the Chelsea he knows now is not the Chelsea he used to play with or play for. Eduardo Camavinga, the young lad, really fantastic 22-year-old player. You have Luka Modric, the man that will never ever run dry of midfield maestro performance. Aurelio Tchouameni, well, fantastic player. Toni Kroos, They are there in the midfield. Federico Valverde, Karim Benzema, the one they call the Benz, and you have Vinicius Junior, who can drive the Benz very well when it comes to making an assist. It's a big one between the two. Now let's look at this side by side. 4-3-3. You have a possible lineup for Real Madrid. You have Carlo Ancelotti, the Don, versus former Chelsea legend. That's the person of Frank Lampard. Both of you are laughing. Let's go.
Big game for Lampard. Well, there has been, let me say, permutations from what people are saying that Lampard was sacked and Tuchel came in and won the Champions League with Chelsea. Now Tuchel was sacked, Lampard came in. Tuchel's first game was against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Lampard's game in the EPL was against Wolverhampton Wanderers, which he lost. Now, those permutations, people have been putting it together that maybe what happened to Tuchel will happen to Lampard this time around. But I told them no. The Real Madrid that we see now, let's forget they might not be doing well in the league, but once it comes to Champions League, Real Madrid is always on a different level. And now, if you look at the lineup side by side, you made mention of Camavinga, let me say a young man who has actually covered up for that left position. But for tonight's game, I think it's all for Real Madrid to just take all they need from Stamford Bridge.
Well, since you are tilted towards Real Madrid, let's see if Choma will go for Chelsea.
Oh, I'm definitely tilting towards Real Madrid.
Seriously?
I'm not going for
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Wish Chelsea can just surprise you guys tonight.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Chelsea fans, but let's see. Let's talk. This is reality right now. You can't have Vini Jr., who has been excellent this season, though they are not awesome in the league. Then you have Benzema staring at you, and then you have the man that will refuse to grow old, Luka Modric, sitting right there in the midfield. Come on. Which of the Chelsea players want to, as of today, which of them is about to? They couldn't even do that over the weekend with the squad they have. So, no. See, there's not even pity on this side.
So
about
going for Real Madrid.
Straight up Real Madrid.
Okay, good one. Both of them try really ganging up against Chelsea. See, I just pray and hope that Chelsea will really shock them tonight. It is very possible. Really, we've been talking with Chioma, Ezekwesili, and also Emmanuel Fashim in the studio. Thank you very, for coming on the show.
That's what having me.
I just hope I would laugh loud. We've been doing this on Sports Updates on Trust TV. I'm Adeniyi Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.